Millrose games again. What does it mean to be back in New York, and a city you've done really well in?
Yeah, it's always exciting coming back to not only New York, but to compete at the Millrose games. It's a second home to me. I've said it many times, and I have a lot of family and friends that live up here, and they come out and support. And it's not every race they get to come out and see me, so I like to always come at least into the city in shape and making sure I'm going to give my best effort forward, put my best foot forward, and give a good effort in front of my friends and family. So.
2 weeks ago in Boston, I know you said your legs were a little heavy. You still won the mile pretty handily. How are your legs now, and how have the last 2 weeks of training been?
Yeah, they were definitely sluggish after the first lap, and I think that's just maybe not doing a lot of mile-specific intervals and stuff. And so I've been training and gearing up for a 3K 2 mile all season. I mean, I knew I was doing this 2 mile for a few months now, so kind of doing a lot of over-distance training. I think led me to feel that way in Boston, and so I'm just kind of relying on that and thinking about that I'm more suited right now for a 2 mile race, and it's okay to feel that way a couple weeks ago. And I did a couple workouts since Boston to kind of get my confidence up and sharpen up a little bit, and just excited really to get out there on tomorrow now and race those guys.
You sort of mentioned it before, but why do the 2 mile here versus the mile?
Nick Willis not racing is a small part. I wouldn't say like the main reason, but definitely I would consider doing the mile had he come back. And he told me shortly, like I said, right after Rio, that he wasn't. And so last year I did a couple 3000s, and I just felt that helped me a lot with the outdoor season, training for that over distance race. And I actually wanted to do the 3K at World Indoors, and we just felt with my best chances at that time was to after Millrose running 350, I just felt that the 1500 was my best way of winning. And so that being said, just kind of treating this indoor season like last year and running a couple miles and running a couple 3K/2 miles. And then the last piece is really just the competition. Not every day I get to race Evan J, or I guess Evan's not in it, I saw his name, but not every day I get to race Ryan Hill, Mohamed, Bouchard, who's running unbelievable right now, and Don Cabral, Ben True, all these guys that are primarily 5K guys, steeplers, and other events that where we all kind of come together, and it's kind of like meeting halfway. And so it's just an exciting race, and kind of like some of the athletes said earlier, after Rio, it's kind of a letdown, and this is something that made me excited training for, and excited to put on the schedule, and that's why I just kind of went with it.
Is there any one guy you're so much worried about?
Honestly, no. I would tell you, I honestly think there's a handful of guys that could win it, and it's hard for me to know where Jerry's guys are since they haven't raced. But certainly Andy, the British guy, has been running unbelievable. I mean, he almost beat Chalimo in Boston, and so he's obviously extremely fit. I was training with Don Cabral down in Tallahassee the last few weeks, and I know he's obviously in good shape. And then Ben True obviously getting back into indoors, and so I don't think there's just one specific guy I can point to. I think there's a handful of guys that can win it.
How do you approach this race? Because obviously as the 1500 champion, you've got a great kick, but do you just feel like if I just hang on in there with 200 to go, this is mine, or how do you think that?
It's funny because you would think that, but guys like Ryan Hill closed extremely well off of fast paces and slow paces, and so he's Olympic. He's the world indoor silver medalist for a reason, and I respect that. And I think he's mentioned time and time again that the 3K is kind of his event, and so this is not going to be if it comes down to a sit and kick, it's not like mine for the taking. And Andy ran 354 last week, and so these guys have great wheels, and he's running faster miles than me this year. So really, I don't even know if sit kick's really my favorite right now. So I don't know. We'll see. If I'm feeling great, I have no problem going to the lead and pushing it, a couple laps out or whatever it is. But I think after a 4:04 first mile, I don't think anyone's going to be feeling all that poppy the last 200. So.
Do you know if someone specifically requested that pace, or if that's just sort of what
that's just what it's going out? And I guess Ford Palmer's pacing it through 4:04, and I heard that from some of the New Jersey, New York guys down in Tallahassee. Like I said, since Ford's part of that group, they said he's going down that, and then Ray told me that as well. So I'm not sure who requested it, but certainly sets it up for if we do continue keeping the pace honest, that someone could get close to the American record. So maybe that's why.
How long have you wanted your dad to get a tattoo?
I couldn't say. It's been burning. I mean, it's his body. I really, if he wants to get one, he gets it. But he just kind of came to me about that bet last summer, just out of the blue, and I'm not gonna say no to it since there's no, I guess there's no flip side to me if I don't win a medal. It's not like I had to get something or do something. So, yeah, I think he just gave me crap so many years about my tattoo. I think he decided to kind of throw that out there just so show his, appreciation of it. I think obviously titling the book after it and all this stuff. And so, like I said, like the book, like this right here, there you go. So, yeah, I think it's his body. It's whatever he wants to do. It's not like something I'm on his case for. Like, you got to get it. So,
are you going to be there when he gets it this afternoon?
Yeah, except unfortunately NBC just told me that the tattoo artist couldn't make it into the city, so we might have to reschedule that. So I'm not sure, if they're going to find another one or we're going to have to do it at a different time, so we'll see.
Are you going to try to solicit more tattoo bets this year? Because there's another kid who got his, a face tattooed on his back or something, and you going to try to get someone to take another bet this year?
Again, I mean, they're coming to me with bets. I'm not tweeting at him saying that if I get a medal, you have to. He came at me back in, I think it was in June or July, and someone on my Twitter retweeted it and brought it back to life, I guess, right after the Olympics. And yeah, I gave him an out, and he honored. We went for a run. We spent the day together back in Portland, and yeah, I mean, I was honestly very honored by that and humbled. And that's kind of like, to me, everyone's got that one moment where it's like, I know I made it. I guess that's my. I guess I've made it now. Someone's got a tattoo of me. Yeah.
When did you spend the day?
His name is Cam Sorter. He came out over Christmas break. He goes to school in Nebraska, I believe, and he came out he lives in Oregon. He came from Seaside. He lives out there, and for Christmas break, and obviously I live in Portland, so we met up for a run through social media, met up, and yeah, just kind of went out to lunch and did some gym work and did a little shopping. So I spent the day with him. I mean, it was kind of a hike for him to come out, and so it was only right to get as many hours of the day with him, and great kid, and he's actually having a great indoor season, so I'll stay in touch with him now to this day. So maybe the tattoos good luck, so maybe everybody should get the tattoos of me on them.
When you got the first father son, how did you reveal that to your dad?
Well, I told him, I called him up, I was like, look, I'm not asking, I'm telling you I'm getting a tattoo. It was back in 2014 when I was diagnosed with pericarditis, didn't run the indoor season, and it was kind of like for me, because I had to take 6 weeks completely off of any kind of exercise, couldn't even cross train. And I was like, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had pericarditis or know about it, but it's the same symptoms of having a heart attack. And so I was kind of freaking out. I was like, I had these this is it for me, I'm going to die. And I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm getting a tattoo. You know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, I just wanted something to symbolize our relationship. Obviously, I credit a lot of my success and to my father, and I said to him, look, I'm going to get a tattoo. I want some ideas. If you have any ideas, help me out. He's like, it's not my taste. My generation, we never did stuff like that. And to, obviously show support or, he's like, he always jokes about Hallmark Card would have been just fine. But I just came across Father Like Son one day when I was thinking about it, and it just stuck with me. I just said to myself, that's it. And with tattoos, I feel like that's kind of how it's been for me. Just once you know, if it just comes to you, then it just kind of that's what I thought suited us, especially having the same name, went to the same college, both two-time Olympians, and even majored the same thing at college. And so it's just kind of I just felt like it was suiting. So.